If you're my mom, my dad, my brothers, or my sister, please stop listening and watching. This episode was not meant for you. And if you keep listening, you're going to hear a lot of things that you didn't want to hear.
Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. I know you just heard the bing, 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 and you're expecting a podcast episode. It will be right here with you in like a minute. But I just want to say that if you didn't watch the last episode, you should, because this episode starts halfway through me and Joshua's conversation. You're gonna learn who Joshua is, and if you watched the last episode, you already know who Joshua is. So I'm just gonna do a quick little intro for those of you who just got here, but if you really just got here, please watch the one before, because everything will make more sense in this one. But yeah, so just to get, a little short version, I'm Erica, he's still Joshua, blah blah blah. And we're just gonna get right back into it. So my bad. Okay, resume episode.
I would not choose to be straight if I was given the opportunity, because it's just like, we do all the fun shit, y'all are scared, y'all are boring.
Well, speaking of being fun, we're getting to that section of the podcast.
Oh, shit. Perfect segue, huh? Not too bad.
Okay. I'm going to start from the beginning. What is something that you wish you knew before your first time with a man that people just don't talk about?
Preparation.
Okay.
So, we have these tools that are set for those things,
Mm-hmm.
douche, enema, whatever it's called,
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain preparation that needs to be done in order to, I guess, have fun without limits. Because God forbid, somebody Picasso paints you and you're just like, ugh, it's gross.
Wait, what do you mean Picasso?
So
You can get descriptive.
okay, just
No,
tread
you're
lightly. For example, right? Obviously, anal is, we know the purpose that orifice serves. It's an exit only for the most part. But the booty button is in there, the pleasure, the prostate, whatever you want,
Yes.
that's there, and that's where you get like a lot of satisfaction and like pleasure from. But if you don't get rid of the chocolate, then it's called painting, when somebody like doo-doos
That's what.
on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Wait, what if you have a really bad diet? Do you need to like wash up more often?
I've heard of people like preparing for like hours, like hour to like, it's a process. There's like a section of people who I'm like, girl, don't even try with that person. Like, you already know they just had Taco Bell and they're about to wild out.
I wonder if that's part of why the hookup culture and stuff and the cruising you mentioned is a thing. Because it's like, you have to always prep. You can't just meet someone, have not prepped. Oh my God, wait, now I'm thinking. Because I'm thinking about all the times that I've like hung out with a guy and like the only prep I need is to have shaved and taken a shower like before I left the house. That's basic, hygiene. So now I'm like, wow, like let's say I just meet someone and I'm out, whatever. Let's say it's a one night stand situation. Then I didn't spend hours before going out, douching. That would suck. Like, what if things get hot and heavy? Oh my gosh, that sucks.
And it'll get hot and heavy again.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's people like, and I love these kind of people. They're like, I know my body. Those are the first ones that you be like, ew.
Why you got swamp ass? And yeah.
Nasty as fuck. But yeah, you have to prep, obviously. And then you just kind of know your role, basically. Like a top doesn't have to prep how a bottom would have to prep.
Yeah.
Because they're entering.
That's another thing. Is this a thing that happens often? Because I was doing some research before the pod. Okay. That like most, not, I don't want to say most, but it's common for people to like start off as a bottom and then like as they get older, they realize, maybe I just want to be a top because they don't want to deal with the prepping of being a bottom.
I think it's a sliding scale. Like, I feel like for the most part, people start, honestly, now you can't even classify like that. Like, however you start is however you start. You just kind of explore and learn as you go. Like, the first time I ever had sex with a guy, I was a top. And then I was like, damn, I wonder what like he's feeling. And then with time, like talking to my friends, asking questions, like somebody kind of gave me like a gay survival kit. This is what you need to have fun. Like
That must
a
be
douche.
nice.
Something called the anal starter. Like if you want to get into that, like receiving and
What's
stuff.
that?
Bro, it's like a little pencil size like dildo that you.
What?
Yeah, bro.
What do you mean pencil?
Like it's like, you know, obviously like some people have like huge dicks or like smaller. Like it depends on who you find or whatever. But to kind of get that muscle to expand, or I guess to get used to it, they have it's called like anal starter. It's like a little smaller one that you put in there to kind of like stretch and like.
Is that the one that it almost looks like beads that get big? Not beads. No, I'm not talking about no.
Huh?
Okay, no, no, not beads. Okay, think about a bead, right? Okay, imagine that at the top, and then imagine. Okay, the beads are made of Play-Doh. Let's imagine this. Just so you can imagine the structure of what I'm trying to explain.
I'm trying.
So imagine a Play-Doh bead.
Okay.
And then you take a bigger Play-Doh bead and you squish it under that one, and you just create like this thing, right? Is what I'm saying making sense?
It's making sense, but no, not for that.
No, because there's one that I'm seeing that is said to like prep you.
Yeah, but I think those are the ones that's for like.
And you go by one, what? For a fist? In the butt? People put...
Ladies and gentlemen.
I heard about fists in the front, but fists in the back? Yeah, fists in the front.
In the front?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, you know, y'all could give birth, so we know that it can like stretch, but goddamn. But yeah, bro. Like I said, it's like there's no one size fits all situation for being gay. It's like a whole bunch of different things to try. But no, it's basically like getting like a little dick and then like a bigger dick and then a bigger and then. But
are they in the size of penises or
they're not? No, like you get like different ones. Like there's like dildos that are like 6 inches. There's ones that are 8. There's ones that are 10.
But you
there's
said
ones that
anal
have
starter,
different.
and it sounded like it wasn't even the shape of a penis.
It's literally just a tiny dildo.
Okay,
it's a tiny dildo
shaped
like a dick. It's just really small. Also, poppers. Do you know what those are?
No. The general idea, okay, I know, the only reason I know about poppers is because my straight friend had told me that her and her boyfriend took them at a party, and she was like, oh, but they're the gay drugs. And I'm like,
I was going to say, did they get it from a gay person?
Yeah, they did, because she's completely cool with all that stuff. So she was just like, she's like, yeah, it's a gay drug. And I'm like, what is this? She was like,
the gay drug.
She was like, it's for sex. And she didn't give me much more, but I assume because she's not a gay man. So like,
I mean, well, y'all can use it too. It's not like
well, yeah, I mean, of course, anyone could do anal.
Exactly.
So what does it do?
So you ever like, all right, so you know, like when you were a kid, like you ever sniffed like a Sharpie?
Yeah.
And got like that lightheaded feeling? And like, what about like nail polish remover?
Yeah. Or even the smell of a nail salon. Okay, so you sniff something?
It literally, yeah, it's like little jars. It's like a liquid. You like shake it.
Like the salts at the gym?
Literally like smelling salts, bro. Like that. So you. And then it just, everything relaxes.
What?
I'm so dead ass.
How much can it relax it? Like
enough?
Is it like a?
It literally just relaxes that muscle because like it real like. And then it hurts if you're like somebody's trying to like yam your shit and you're just like chilling.
Oh no, I would know. One time I had anal by mistake. One time, this was a while ago. Stuff was going. Stuff got faster. Obviously, juice is flowing. Yada yada yada. Out one in the other side.
Damn.
Yeah, and you know there was no douche. There was no prep. There was no nothing. There was no poop. But I'm just saying, like, it hurt.
Take notes.
And I remember running to the bathroom and sitting, and he was sitting on the tub, and he's like, did that just happen? I'm like, what the fuck do you think? And there's blood. And I'm like, oh my God.
Damn.
I'm about to get real detailed, right? So like, it was blood. And then for the next, no lie, week, it was the most annoying thing because it's like when you get a paper cut on your knuckle's always moving.
Oh, like it keeps like opening?
So every time I sat down the toilet, I feel like I reopened. Oh my God. It was just.
Damn.
Oh, I hated it. It hurt so much.
Yikes.
Yeah. So, let's say, you're an anal virgin. Would poppers, just one time taking poppers and what's it called? A nice douching session. Is that enough prep for your first time to not be that painful?
It could be if the person that you're doing it with knows what they're doing.
Okay.
Because there are people who do, just like what happened to you, that's how they start. They're like, whop. And you're like,
And it's like rug burn. It's like an Indian burn in your asshole.
And then try to go right back in after. You're like, I don't know if I have to fight you, bro. You just, because it's like, oh my God. It's literally like ripping, like open a bag of chips. Once you just, that bag of chips is never, you can't close it. You just can clip it. But no, that shit hurts. And you have to get used to it. Obviously, like some people, it kind of like you find your footing in what you enjoy more. Like when I first got into this lifestyle, like just actively like, you know, hooking up and like just getting, I was like, I'm top. I have no interest in that other shit.
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah.
I kind of like got bored and I was like, I gotta do all the work. I'm the one that's like fatigued and shit. And, like, I'm thrusting, I'm tired. And you look like you're having more fun than me.
Yeah. You know, this is one thing that's crazy that I didn't know. So I watched Saltburn for the first time like last year. Okay. And I didn't know that you can do anal from the front.
Like missionary?
Yeah. I didn't know that, like, this, I'm telling you, this is straight people ignorance. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know you're able to enter the back while facing the person.
Am
I stupid? Like,
you're not stupid. No, it's not your fault. Because I'm
thinking, doesn't it have to bend? Like,
yeah, you can like contort your body to like fit, but it's kind of like a
to me.
You know, like you gotta make it work. Like,
not the demonstration.
I would say there's no other way for me to explain it. No, like so I'm pretty tall. And for the most part, the people that I've dated were like shorter. So it's like, I gotta put like a pillow or two under their back to kind of like elevate them so that it's more of like a front and center type of situation
like
instead of like
situation.
Turning them into like a balloon knot, like trying to fold them and shit to like, you know, do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
But that's like my favorite position, okay? Like,
see, like my whole life, I always thought like that gay people only get back shots. Like that was it. That it could never be like romantic because you're never looking at them.
Back shots can be romantic. I mean, yeah,
it depends. Of course they can, but if that's the only thing, at least in my brain, that you could have done. No, because then
you could just like grab them by the neck and like you're over here like
on the side. Yeah, but that hurts, you know? Like
hurts
your spine and stuff.
You think?
Like, I mean, after a while, like I said, if it's the only thing you're doing, that's a lot of time. Like,
yeah, I get that.
Wake up with a thing in your neck.
Like a little kink. You're like, shit, I had too much fun last night and I gotta repay for a couple of days.
Yeah.
You know, you can, so yeah, you can.
Interesting. Okay.
Have that look into the... Damn, we can't get too descriptive. This is a family channel.
No, we're gonna put a warning at the beginning.
Okay, so
I'm telling my parents not to watch.
Why not?
No, my dad cannot.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom. She'll
probably
hear
like,
it, but there's nothing I'm saying that she doesn't already know. But my dad can't hear like the descriptions.
Like, oh my God, no.
Yeah, he'll be like, all right, let me just unsubscribe.
Yeah, I feel like no. I think after like I came out, I feel like we like poco a poco, I was talking to my mom about like the lifestyle and stuff. Like I want to take her to a gay club like pretty soon. Once it's like warmer out and she can have fun. Because the thing about gay clubs is like there's a lot of smoke, there's a lot of lights, there's a lot of people.
It's overstimulating.
And some people bring poppers to the club. Like I've had friends that be like, yo, like let's take a hit. And then you just kind of like, you're in a daze, but it's just, anytime I take poppers, I automatically want to start kissing. Like, so it's giving, I don't want to be around my friends when I take that because then it's giving,
hey.
Like, hey. Start rubbing elbows and shit. Like, hey, you know, you ever thought about me that way? No, we're gonna do that.
No, I went to a gay club, I think it was probably only ever like once. And I went to a few all in the same night. And I was like, wow, one, it's a lot more fun. Like if you're not, because the thing is like regular clubs, like unless you're there with you know, someone that you're screwing or whatever, or you're single and looking, it's boring. Yeah. Like it's just like, all right, like we're here stacked like sardines. But at a gay club, there's always something to look at. There's like someone up somewhere
naked
dancing.
And shit, dancing.
Like, everyone's doing crazy shit and like the drinks are cooler and the people, and even like the gay guys, like they're so okay with dancing with you and just being stupid and silly and just like letting me be a girl. Because I feel like if you're being like just a girl at a straight club, they're like, who the fuck is this weird bitch? Like if I want to be on some like, ooh kind of thing, like they're like, what the fuck is she doing? Like aloof and shit, right?
Yeah.
Vibing. And it's like at a gay club, they're like, yeah, sure. Like no one cares. So
that's what we talked about. Like I remember like when we called each other, like I was like, if a girl wants to go somewhere and disappear, go to a gay club. You can twirl, you can twerk, you can try to get everybody in there to fall in love with you. And we're just like, how'd you do that thing where you when you moved your butt? I need to try that. Like,
turns into a dance class.
Exactly. Like, just show me. Like, you're fine. Go live your life. But yeah, no, I think just gay anything is just more fun.
Yeah, no, it is. So, what was your first time like?
Oh shit. Well, so my first time was with a girl.
Well, your first time with a guy.
With a guy?
Yeah.
Damn. That.
And how different was it then from your first time with a girl?
This is scary. Not for anything bad, but my first time with a guy was through like a hookup. There was a website. The apps weren't like super popular. I think it was called like Squirt. And then there was .org, mind you. And I was like, what? Okay.
They serious.
Right, literally like, and it was weird. Like, you ever seen like Omegle?
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. Like, you're chatting with somebody. It felt sketchy vibe.
Okay.
I was like, oh my God, I think I might be murdered.
Yeah.
I was like,
R.I.P.
you know,
Omegle.
we won't know until the other side. I feel like it's still a thing, no?
No, Omegle died.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Omegle. But this older dude, like 35, and I was like 17, 18.
Oh.
Yeah, around there. And mind you, I didn't have a car. I didn't have a bike or anything. Like, we were taking like local transportation to a hookup, and I was just like, middle of the day, book bag, like I had like a snack in there or something. And I'm like trying to find this dude's house, and then like I said, it's like through a website, so you kind of have to like refresh the page, and then sometimes it'll fucking sign you out. And I'm like waiting 3 minutes to get a text, and they're like, okay, coming down. And I'm like getting nervous. I'm like, oh my God, this is really about to happen. Like, I've never done this before. And then I went, closed the door, we started doing whatever was happening. And like I was getting a lot of direction, but I was like, am I doing a good job? I feel like he's kind of getting pissed off.
Did he know it was your first time?
No.
Okay. Oh my God.
He's
older though.
Yeah. And I was like,
That's
so he had like experience. He was like, I guess, telling me how he likes it and shit. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm just here to comply and just be a human dildo for you, I guess.
Yeah.
So we did that. Protected, of course. Not stupid. Then I left and I was like, I wonder if that was good. Like, I didn't know what, like, for me, it felt different because I'm like, oh my God, like, this is a man. Like, he was cute.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like, I wasn't planning on dating him or anything because after that, we just kind of like never spoke again. That was just that, you know?
Oh my gosh.
But I was like,
that's scary.
I was terrified, bro. I was
that
like,
is so scary.
He may or may not. But that's what anybody, even when you go on a first date, you don't know if this person's going to turn around and fucking kill you.
Yeah, but like when the only purpose of seeing each other, it's like, well, it's either to fuck or kill me. Like, it's not even like get to know me. That's not even an option.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I'm going to your house. Mind you, right, when you put it on paper, you're like, wow, we're really some dumb bitches. But it's like, it just happens. Like, shit, I have to.
I mean, no one else was, open about, just queerness or whatever with you to tell you like, oh, or like even other people just being out the closet enough for you to know and or not even just being out the closet and you even liking them. Like, there's just so many things. It's just like, you know what? Let me just go to an app where I know for sure everyone here is gay and then figure it out from there.
Yeah.
Because,
and that's the thing too, right?
Young.
So that's what I keep like thinking about. Like, this is really just like a learned experience. Like, there's no coming out for straight people.
Yeah.
Y'all just out. Y'all always been out, you know?
Yeah.
For us, it's like, not only do we have to accept ourselves, we also have to find guidance through like how do I navigate this life? So that's when you start developing like your chosen family, you know? Like, so damn, you know what? I think I could talk about this. It's like it's real personal, but I was kind of outed when I was like 18. Yeah, my concern was more so for like how if it wasn't me, if this would happen to somebody else, like if this person did that to somebody else, it could have went another route. Because a lot of people commit suicide when they like get outed or they're like they weren't ready to come out because it's so
theirs to tell.
Overwhelming. It's like, oh shit, now everybody knows I'm gay. Now I have to answer all these questions. Now I have to figure it out myself. Like, do I start dressing different now that I'm gay? Like, there's so many things you figure out that like to be outed is really difficult. And thank God I survived that, but not everybody has that same experience. So for me, it was this dude that I knew was gay because somebody told me like from the jump that, all right, he's gay or whatever. And I would hang around him because I was like living vicariously through his experiences. Like I would ask him questions, like mad questions. I would hang out with him like whenever I could. He was cute too, but I guess, and that was also around the same time that I had just got on Grindr. So the dude made like a fake profile of like using somebody else's pictures, different age, different everything. And like we were chatting and stuff, and like, you know, the dude seemed pretty cool. And I was like, oh, you seem like a cool guy. And like, I would want to meet you one day or something. He sent me like everything, like naked pictures, like all, like everything. And then that person's friend pulled me aside and was like, yo, he's like telling people you're gay. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, oh, like this person that you were chatting with on Grindr, like this is actually this person.
The one that you were hanging out with all the time.
And I was like, shit.
That is crazy. Why would...
And I was like, why would you...
Just for the sake of saying it?
Like brownie points?
Because it'd be different if, like, you know, you were talking to him knowing it was him and he was like, oh, I'm dating this guy. That's like, even though it's still no one's business, it's still a more, you know, obvious way for it to come up rather than like, oh, guess who's gay? Like, that's...
Yeah. So for me, like, he kind of jump-started my queer career, you know?
Right.
But luckily, like, the person who did kind of come to me and be like, hey, this is what's happening, was also the one that was, like, holding on to me through all of it. Like, dude, just figure out, like, I have any answer that you might need. Like, just talk to me.
It wasn't just a snitch and they left.
It wasn't just like, yo, this guy's talking shit about you. You got to deal with that. It was more like he did this. It's fucked up, but I got you. We're still friends to this day. Me and this guy, like, we're probably going to die being friends, low-key. But he's part of, like, my introduction and, like, that protection and, like, understanding. I got most of that through him, you know? So shout out to you. I think you know who you are if you watched. And I hope you did.
Okay. I want to get into something that you told me about, what is it now, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, that I didn't want you to tell me more because I was like, leave that for the podcast. It was your first time in Puerto Rico.
Oh, the solo vacation. Yikes. Okay.
Yeah. This is I hope is a story time because I don't think...
It is a story
this
time.
This is a short one.
It's not a short one.
Yeah.
So, in the spirit of going on vacation, like solocation, it was my first time ever doing that. I went to Puerto Rico and it was around COVID time. So flights were dumb cheap. I did not have to spend an arm and a leg. I had a nice Airbnb and it was me, Orange Facebook, and Vibes. And
For how long were you in Puerto Rico?
It was probably like a week.
Damn.
But when I tell you it started and stopped that same day, I was like...
What do you...
I was like, sister, you crashed out. You went too big, too fast. Okay. So I was... Like, the first day I literally got there, the same day I showered because it was hot. It was, like, dead of summer. I went to the Walmart in Carolina, and I was just, like, mostly just walking around because I was like, what do I want, like, to bring back to the Airbnb? And for some reason, like, every floor had, like, different stuff, so I was just in there. But
it was a Walmart
like,
with several floors?
Literally, like, elevator to each floor.
Oh, I've never seen... every Walmart I've ever gone to is one floor.
Super center, just like big city block. But over there, it's like a building, but it's like up.
Okay.
So I'm just there, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm walking around by myself, like, eat, pray, love vibes, like, just music. So I get in the apps, and then I see this one guy. I'm like, he's pretty cute. So then he, like, hits me up. He's like, hey, because I guess, like I said, the profile, like, I had redeemable qualities, you know, 6 feet tall, Latino, whatever. He said, hey, what's up? I said, hey, like, not much. How about you? Chilling. And then he was like, nothing, just chilling at the house, like, have a couple people over, like, just chilling. And I was like, okay. Now what? So that he was just like, oh, like, you want to come through? I was like, pic? ? He sent me a pic, and I was like, you know, because he sent, like, one, like, an X pic, a nude. And I was like, oh, shit, he's fire. I was like, you know what? I was like, I ain't doing nothing. I was like, okay, I'll come over. And he was like, okay, bet. So then, like, mind you, it was like walking distance, probably like a 10-minute walk. So I walked to this building, and it's a nice-ass building, too, mind you. He was on the penthouse floor. So then I get there, I'm like, hey, I'm here. He was like, okay, bet. So then he goes, just to let you know, like, there's a decent amount of people here, but this is not my house. So I was like, what? He was like, yeah, like this guy that I know, like we're cool. Trust me, like you're fine. He owns the apartment, but like he hosts like group sessions.
Sound like a Diddy party. Like
quite literally.
Crazy.
And I was like, the fuck does that mean? Group sessions. I was like, we learning how to knit or some shit. Like, what's the vibe in there? He's like, no, like everybody's kind of like, you know, in there getting fucking. So I was like, okay. So I get up there. And it just felt like such a planned, like an excursion. They were like, okay, y'all, when you enter, you put your shoes here, put your keys in your shoes, know where you left your stuff. Condoms on the table, have fun. So I walk in and like, it's a nice apartment. Like he had like a California king and like there's people everywhere.
How many people? Because he said a few people.
He said a few. Motherfucker lied. There was like 15, 20 people. And I told you, it was early, bro. I was like, I don't even think we touched noon yet.
Okay.
I was like, yo, it's early as shit. Like, you're just walking around. So I look around, like, there's people on the couch. There's people standing. Somebody's on the balcony. So I'm just kind of looking around, like, how does this work? So then somebody was like, and me being a pendejo, start walking over. Mind you, I'm already, like, down to the underwear because they said, like, you know, just take your clothes off. Like, just get comfortable. Like, this is a safe space.
Yeah, how are you feeling this whole time? Because you walk in and you just take off your clothes and you're just like, okay, like, how does...
Like my heart was pounding the whole time. I was like, oh my God, I'm anxious. I'm not even horny anymore. And then I'm trying to find the guy that invited me. Yeah. And he's up under some other dude. And I was like, ew. Yeah. I was like, I don't want you no more. Like,
at least
he's
let me be
touching
first.
you.
Like,
he's doing stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, they're looking stupid. I'm like, okay, so what do I do now? So then I interact with somebody else who also was a singular individual walking around trying to find. You know, we did what we did, and then I lock eyes with the guy who invited me, and then he starts making his way over. He initiates, and then we start doing whatever. The moment I was like, nah. Was like, me and him finished, and then like the owner of like the apartment was like older. He would be classified as like a silver daddy.
Okay.
You know what that is?
I know what a daddy is versus like...
So a silver daddy is like an older one, like gray hair, like...
But he looks
like
good.
North of the 50s.
I'm asking. Oh, okay. Oh, but I would assume.
Well, no, like silver daddies in general, sometimes, like, you know, I'm not yucking anybody's young, but they're not my type. But he starts like touching like my back.
Oh. Some weird Hugh Hefner
post-nut clarity,
shit.
Like, do women get that?
Yeah. Like,
you be like, don't touch me. I don't want to talk about. Like, we already did it. Like,
definitely.
Like, what is sex? Ew, back up. I got that, and then I felt like this old, like, scaly hand touch my back, and I was like, ah! Like, I said, I have to leave. I was like, oh my God, like, I have something to do. I got up. I literally just like, and I left. And then I'm leaving. The guy that I was, like, that had invited me was also leaving. We kind of were just, like, looking at each other in the elevator because, like, the worst part of it was, like, not only was I abruptly trying to leave, I had to be let out. Like, it's one of those, like, turn things where, like, they had to, like, to go down. Yeah. So not only did I say, don't touch me, bro, I gotta leave. I had to wait for him to get up so that I could leave. So it was just kind of awkward. And we had to do it staring at each other like.
What's weird too though is that's probably like a regular occurrence that they just always get random people who like think they're about it and then they go and they're like, actually no.
Yeah. But, you know, there is such thing as reluctance and follow your intuition. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Because then you're going to be like traumatized, low-key.
So random question. Because I have a lot of like friends who claim that they've been in orgies. But like the description stops there. I don't ever intend in being in one. But I always wonder what it's like. Because the only depiction of an orgy I have is that one scene in Sausage Party. And I just wonder...
Oh, shit.
So my only like reference is fucking cartoon food.
Right, literally. So, like the hot dog and the buns.
And the naan bread and all that. So what is, like, you say people are doing stuff over there, there's people doing stuff, but like, what are they doing? And like, how many people? Like, I just wonder what that looks like. So
even then, I kind of struggle with that too, because I'm like, an orgy... I think it's like more than 5 people. I think like to classify it, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I don't know.
Yeah, let us know.
I really don't because even then I kind of feel like I just had sex with like one or two people in a room where an orgy was happening, because it wasn't like some human centipede type shit where everybody's on everybody. So I'm like, does it have to be like that? Like, I thought that was like a gangbang. So it's like, there's so many like categories and stuff where I'm like, I don't know if it could even be classified as such, but I just know that there was more than like 10 people in there. There was like at least 15.
Because what I think an orgy is kind of like everyone has their main person, right? And then like, then they like branch off like, okay, let's do a threesome over here, but these two people are still doing stuff. And for as long as there's like an exchanging of fluids amongst like several people, like for as long as this person's penis has been dipped in like these 3 people and maybe that girl licked that same, you know, like it's, I feel like for as long as there's just a very even spread
like a pass
of
around
interactions, that's an orgy.
Okay.
That's my understanding of it. That's why I'm just wondering, like, what is, like, are you asking permission? Or, like, how does, I don't know. It's
well,
just crazy.
Consent is sexy. That's one. But also, I think I might have to join you in what your, like, idea of an orgy is, because even then, damn, I probably should have researched what, like, technical classifications so much. I'm like, oh, yeah, I was in an orgy. And like, it's like, no, you're dead wrong. You were not. Then it's like, damn, okay. It's embarrassing. Right. You went to an orgy party, but you were not a participant.
Yeah.
I guess. But I'd rather be that, honestly. I have a question because, you know, I feel like I was young when I had like a straight relationship. Swingers. What's the tea?
I mean, I personally wouldn't know, but I feel like swinging honestly is more common now because that's just an open relationship. I feel like. Well, no, because swingers like to swing with another couple. With
couples, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Is there an age for that?
I was just gonna say, I feel like it's an older people thing. I feel like you get married and then you get old, things get boring. You're like, hey, like I don't want you fucking somebody else, and I don't want to fuck somebody else alone. But let's do it together. And they just kind of like sit at a bar and be like, hey, we like that one. Because that's one thing.
There's parties.
I don't like when I'm at a club and like a guy comes up to me, he like is kind of like, oh, like you're pretty or whatever. And then his wife comes and she also thinks I'm pretty. And I'm like, oh.
Trying to recruit.
I'm just going to go over here, you know? But I'm just one person though.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that still counts as swinging or like a couple who likes a third.
It's like inviting a third.
Yeah.
Okay, so, damn. Can we talk about stuff like that? All right. Okay. Would you invite a third?
No. I've had this conversation so many times. I've gone through all the different phases. So. Okay. Oh my God, I hope my father's not watching. So. Before, I used to think like, oh yeah, I'm so fun and free. Like, of course, even the idea of a threesome, I'm open to it. And I was like, I don't know, I just thought it was funky and cool like that. And then I was like, okay, if ever I'd have a third, it'd be a girl because, women are cute. I know women's bodies parts, yada, yada, yada. I'd have fun with, both the guy and my man, the girl and my man. I'm like, okay, cool. And then, and then I started thinking, I'm like, no, because then I started thinking like, well, is my man going to spend more time with me or more time with her? Who does he spend time with first? Who does he finish with? Who is he making eye contact with?
Oh, shit.
You're like, it's a lot. Because even for me, like, when it comes to the bedroom, eye contact is a thing. So, like, if I'm always used to you only looking at me, obviously, there's nothing else to look at. But, like, for you to be looking at another girl and touching me or doing stuff to me, it's just weird. It's so weird.
It's like a mental thing,
yeah. So then I settled on, like, okay, honestly, he'd have to just be a cuck and me and the girl do stuff. But I'm like, then that's not a threesome, So then,
you said a cuck?
Yeah.
The fuck is that?
It's someone who likes to watch other people have sex. Mm-hmm. So like some people, like they're in a relationship, they're married for a while, whatever. Okay. And then the guy just might want to get off on maybe his girl fucking other guys or maybe other girls. But yeah, and then I forgot who said this. Someone, I don't know if it was one of my friends or one of my boyfriend's friends. They were talking about like a hotel room and they call this one chair, it's a chair that's in the bedroom. They were like, that's the cuck chair, like as a joke. But that's how I found out what a cuck was. And I was like, what do you mean a cuck chair? They were like, oh, like, And they gave the definition. They were like, that's where they sit. And I was like, what?
Dang.
So yeah, that's how I found out what that was. So yeah, so then I thought that I would be the type to be like, oh, like another girl. But then someone who I can't name told me about their POV of, it was a woman, they told me about their POV of doing it with like 2 guys. And she was telling me, she was like, like, as a woman, like, you're completely in control, especially if they're 2 very obviously straight guys. Like, they really have no interest in the other guy. She was like, all they want is you. And I was like, that's a different kind of, because then you're in control and you have both of these dudes like all over you, touching you, doing things to you, and all eyes are on you. And I was like, huh, that is interesting. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, I like that. That's cool. And then, then I got into a serious relationship, and not that I ever even considered it in my current relationship, but I was just like, I'm cool with just him. Like, I was just like, I don't need all this extra
I like you.
stuff.
We have fun.
Yeah, like, and I was like, I wouldn't even want to put somebody that I care about through that. Because that's another thing, too. In the beginning, when I said that I wanted another girl, I also, my other thing was that none of us could be in contact with the girl after. Like, neither of us could be friends with the girl.
One night stand.
Yeah. And then when it came to like thinking about like the guy, like 2 guy situation, I'm like, I can't be with either of them. Like, I wouldn't want my man to see me screwing another guy. And I also like, to me, that would be more of something that you do because it's fun and you're just like, I'm single and I'm whatever. And what's crazy is like a straight person saying that is a whore. But I feel like in the gay community, it's like, no, like
the Tuesday.
It's just fun, you know? Yeah. So that adds to your point of how like gay people are just more fun. It's like, they're more fun, but it's also more accepted within the community. Yeah. But like straight people would hear me say that and they'll be like, what a slut.
She's a loose woman, a harlot.
Yeah. So yeah, but like now that I'm in a serious relationship and stuff, I'm like, you know what? Like, I honestly don't even care for any of that. And if he at any point wants to get all freaky, he better hope that it's after we're like 40, because maybe I'll get a little bored by then. But yeah.
Okay.
That
was a good. No, like you can tell that you thought about this.
Yeah, there was a lot of.
She said, "This is not my first rodeo with this question. Here's my point." No, okay, I agree. I feel like for women though, if it's 2 dudes, like that's like a DP situation, like
DP,
like double penetration, like. I feel like also that's like a lot of work for the woman, no?
It doesn't always have to be in like an Eiffel Tower kind of thing, because it could also be like, something's going in and something else is getting licked, or you're licking something and something's going in.
Yeah, because I know for like threesomes, they always say like somebody becomes the admin.
What do you mean, like the
how you know how you said
almost?
Not the orchestrator, but like you know how you said that. Like, oh, when your man is doing like stuff to you, like you don't want them to be like looking at somebody else or just like the admin is just kind of like the one that has the least chemistry, I guess, in the threesome.
So the third.
Yeah, so they just kind of end up like hanging out there. No, like for example, right? You and your man do it, and then he's like really vibing with Shorty. They're kissing, like he's deep in it.
See, even hearing
intimate.
that, I'm like, nah.
You about to get pissed off?
Yeah. Like, who did you fucking Joshua's explanation?
Right. So then you're just like sitting there like rubbing his back, or you're trying to kiss the girl, and she's kind of like, no. You know, you go sit down, right?
It's about
you
to be
go
a fucking brawl.
you go get a snack, and you just kind of sit there like you're making sure everybody's good. Like, oh, you want some water? Like you're okay.
I'm getting a fucking hammer. Like,
right? It's
please.
Giving enough. So you're anti-third, anti-swinger. Okay, we love that.
Like, don't touch what's mine. Yeah.
I feel like, and it's weird because I know now, like a lot of couples, especially like gay couples, are like open, like, but like you said, they have very specific rules, like. Y'all could not mess around or could not have messed around before you met, because then it's just kind of giving like, oh, you're dealing with somebody from the past and bringing it into your new shit. It's kind of crazy. There's that. There's there's people like, we only do it when we're on vacation and we know we're not going back there for a long time. There's that. There's those people that are like, okay, y'all can't talk or text after we do it. Like y'all can't be friends.
Or they only contact that person for this.
The third. Yep. Or that we have to be your friend first. And I feel like that's weird because then that gives like, y'all trying to develop a throuple or something?
Yeah, because then it's like, okay, so what if we don't want to have sex with you anymore? Now we have to be friends. Now the couple is friends with benefits not friends with benefits, but like, I guess friends with an ex almost with this person.
Yeah, because then it's kind of like, also, who's texting who about setting this up? Why you texting my man? You know, like,
yeah,
it becomes too messy, too much monkey waters.
Yeah, because if everyone's friends, that's a problem. There's just got to be the one that suggested it. That's the planner. That's it.
Right. Y'all go through him to get to me.
We're not doing this through a group chat.
Hello.
Yeah.
And we're not
Don't heart his fucking message.
We're not playing Nintendo Switch after. I'm going home.
Yeah.
And I'm not coming back. Probably ever. But then, like, damn, what if it's fun? Or like, what if everybody has like an adequate amount of fun? And you're like, oh shit, like I would do this again.
See, but I honestly feel like three's a crowd. Like, how can everyone truly equally have a good time? Like,
are you asking, or like that's like a general?
I don't like just in general. Like, I just don't think that that's possible.
I think it's very possible. Like, for example, if everybody's verse. And like a hookup, so you know, like top, bottom, and then versus versatile.
Yeah.
If everybody's versatile, that's the best night of your life. Because everybody at one point will be giving, receiving, and some. If you can make it work, everybody's getting all three at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, ow. Like that's. See, but it's different because I don't know. Maybe part of it is just because. In my situation with like the extra girl, that shit's pissing me off. But I know for sure, because I know for sure if there's two other guys, the guys don't want each other in my situation.
Yeah.
So like.
But what if you don't know that?
What you mean? Listen, if I'm in this hypothetical threesome with two dudes and they start fucking, I'm leaving. Why? Because there's no way, I don't want ass penis in my vagina.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, well, condoms, switch to condom.
Yeah, but still, like, you know, UTIs and shit. Like, my vagina, like, it reacts like crazy to like to
any foreign.
Yeah, to like the slightest of things. Like when I go to Florida, I don't care. Listen, this is regular girl stuff, and it should be talked about. Every time I go to Florida, I get BV because the water from the shower is a different pH than the one in New York.
New York, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
So like in situations like that, I'm just like, no, I wouldn't want an ass penis in my vagina. Because then I was thinking about it too. My friend asked me, she was like, would you have sex with a bisexual man? And I was like, honestly, I don't think that that's an issue. But then I started thinking, because she was like, because my reasoning for not having sex with a gay man was the same thing. And she was like, well, they can still have their penis in somebody's butt. And I was like, oh. But I guess it's just the stigma of the fact that they've also done it with women that had me like comfortable. And I was like, okay, then I guess I have to accept it and just trust that they clean themselves beforehand.
Okay.
But in the threesome situation though, like fresh out of one and in the, nah, I'm sorry.
Like,
yeah.
Dipping dots.
Can't happen.
That's crazy. Okay. So would you date a bisexual man?
I think this is the part where it's like how much of your gay shows. I feel like that plays a part. Cause it's like, for me, it's not the issue of like, oh, well, you like men and women. So like now I have to be jealous of everyone or like, you know, cautious with everyone. It's not that. It's just more of like, it's the same reason, like even with straight men, that I like someone who I feel like can protect me and who other people respect when we walk down the street. Like I don't, even with a straight guy, like sense. You can't, like you could be tall and still be like dainty and like people were like, oh, like I could take her kind of thing. Like I don't need anyone thinking that when we're out. So for the same reasons with a bisexual guy, like it just can't show as much. Cause I would assume that there's plus sides or positives to being with a bisexual man. Cause like maybe they could judge your outfits better when you say, hey babe, like you like my outfit. Maybe their opinion might be better than a straight man's, you know? Or like there's just certain parts of being, cause I've seen this too, like straight women who start dating bisexual men because they get both sides of like having the straight boyfriend, but also having like a really good friend. Yeah. And I'm just like, I wonder if that's even fair to them. But I feel like if you really feel like you're getting both and you're getting just as much like sexual attention and you're getting just as much satisfaction of a relationship while getting like the best friend side, then I feel like you're fine. Yeah,
because I think that also kind of made me think about just now is like, what if the dude that you're dating as bisexual is like super like femme, but then he like fucks like a monster? Like his bed game is like like you're looking at the sky like, wow, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. That wouldn't satisfy you?
I think then I would have to, this sounds crazier. I might have to picture him more like a lesbian, like a masculine lesbian woman. Like, I would have to reframe my mind to see him more that way.
Yeah, to like accept it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But at the same time, though, I feel like if you have to do that, you shouldn't be having sex with them. But for me personally, like, let's say I was in that situation.
If you have to change your scope, let's give it, maybe leave him alone. Let him rock.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's I know, like, when you think about these things, it's weird how the mind works and what allows you to allow someone, or what like limits you put on yourself to allow someone to like enter your body and like exchange that energy with you. But yeah, these are interesting.
Legit, I was like, wow, okay, it's a good, but it's cool to hear a perspective from like a straight woman about the queerness, because it's also like, I kind of think about myself. I'm like, what do I allow as far as like, oh shit, like if he's wearing like eyelashes or if he has on like nails, like, am I gonna be like, ew, no, you can't top me type of situation? And probably, I'll probably be like, nah.
Yeah.
Because I do like,
because imagine like acrylics grabbing you, like,
or him being like, watch girl, like you just gotta sew it. Then don't touch me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I respect it. I feel like I said, imagine the energy. Like, I'm open to being pleasantly like surprised. You know, like, oh shit, this guy is like
yeah, so you'd be open to the situation where like they're feminine, but it's like, hey.
As I go and like kind of grow older and stuff, like I'm more open-minded, because you're like, you only limit yourself and we only get this experience of life like one time, as far as we know.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not try everything, you know?
Yeah.
But at first I was like, fuck no, like I wanted that heteronormative, like I want my guy to look so straight, like unclockable, like walk down the street and they're like, he's gay. For me, that if somebody said that about somebody I was with, I'll be like, oh my God, he's so hot.
Alrighty, so now for this or that. So I've got like, no lie, like 18 here. Okay, so after the first date, are you the type to text first or wait for them to text?
Yo, as soon as I close that door, I'm already like, really? Had a great time, get home safe, handsome, with the heart and some shit.
I'm the type to wait. I mean, I literally just showed you something earlier today.
Right.
I was like, I'm not texting until I get the first message. Okay, on the first date, would you rather dinner or drinks?
Dinner. Okay,
same.
Because I feel like with dinner, you kind of get to see their people skills, like how they interact with people they don't know, like a server. Like if they give like nasty vibes, it's kind of like a ick for me. You get to see that, and then how they eat, because that's like a thing too.
Yeah, and I think I would only do drinks if I'm the one that suggests drinks, because the only reason I would suggest drinks is because I'm so busy, but I want to see you. So I'm like, all right, I'll squeeze in a night. But I prefer dinner because it's like we can talk. I need to be able to talk.
Yeah.
Because even if we do drinks, we're doing drinks somewhere that the music is
loud as fuck, right?
Yeah. Okay. PDA, do you find it sweet or cringe?
It depends on like how aggressive it is. Like,
okay.
If you see a dude like kissing his shorty's neck and grabbing her butt and he's about to like topple her, it's giving,
okay,
all right. But if it's like a cute little like hand in pocket, or like I'm holding the small of your waist, or like a kiss on the cheek,
yeah,
A-okay.
Same. I think it's sweet, and the only time that like the super aggressive stuff is okay, honestly, I feel like it's whenever we're like with friends and it's like more of a joke, because I will never take like smacking my ass seriously and be like, ooh, yeah, in public, like, whoa, what are you doing? But if it's like funny and like our friends are around and they're making a joke out of it, I'm just like, yeah, it's what we do. It's fine.
Yeah.
Big spoon or little spoon?
Both. It really depends on like the vibe.
You don't prefer one?
No. Honestly, like I told you, I don't like cuddling like that. I'm very much like and like my pinky will be like on your hip or something. But yeah, if I had to pick, I think probably little spoon, because I can push you off me when I'm done getting like the cuddles.
For me, if the room is cold, little spoon. If the room is hot, big spoon. Yeah. Because if it's hot, like I could breathe.
And people radiate body heat.
That's the thing with snuggling though. Like when you breathe, you have to breathe in alternate patterns. Because I hate when, you have to breathe at the same time actually. Because you breathe in alternate patterns. I don't like that I'm always breathing in the hot air that you breathe out. I don't like that feeling. I want us to breathe in together.
I'd be like, nah, I don't like
and
that.
breathe out together. Yeah.
Or like if it's just like back and forth, like alternating, it also kind of just sounds like noise the entire time.
Oh, that part doesn't
It's
bother
like
me.
like.
Okay, do you prefer planned dates or like meet up and go with the flow?
Depends on the time of day. Like if it's an early, like randomly, we have the same day off as giving. All right, I'm gonna pick you up, and then from there we decide. But if it's like already 9 o'clock and you don't know what the fuck we're doing, we're not doing shit. I'm going home. We'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that. Because I'm one of those that I like my dates to be all day. Like we meet up at 10 in the morning and then we start in the city and some way find our way back home. But we got to stop at like a million places in between.
Yeah.
Would you rather meet parents early or wait it out?
Wait it out. Wait it out, but then I'm also a hypocrite because like I told you, when I wanted my mom to meet somebody, I'm like, she might be able to see the shit that I'm not seeing. And before I fall in love with this person, let me make sure that the screening is thorough.
Yeah. For me, I would just say wait as long as I can. But if something comes up and my significant other is invited, I'm not going to like not invite him. Because like, why wouldn't I take advantage of an opening where I can bring someone in from my life?
All out, right?
Yeah. I'm just like, well, strike while the iron's hot. If so-and-so's in a good mood and wants to be my boyfriend, let's fucking do it. Yeah. But I'm not just going to spring him up on anyone. Would you rather catch feelings too fast or never have them at all? Like if you had an option. Catch
feelings too fast because you can keep like cementing them as you go on. If I never catch feelings and it's just kind of like, imagine somebody's in love with you and you're like, if you died tomorrow.
Yeah, but if you had to choose one over the other, that it's either you caught feelings too fast and it didn't work out. Oh. Yeah, or you just never had the experience at all.
Never had the experience at all.
Okay. I'm gonna catch feelings too fast. I want to learn. I like heartbreak. Feeling. Yes, I like feeling everything completely. Like I'm one of those that my highs are super high, my lows are super low. And I know that's like the definition of like being bipolar, but not in that way. I just like feeling everything at its like highest intensity, no matter what it is, and I'm very accepting of its presence. So like if I'm gonna cry, and I really feel the waterworks coming, like I'm not gonna stop until my eyes are done. Like I'm not gonna conceal anything. If I'm fighting with someone, like arguing and tears are coming out, I'm not going to stop the tears, but I will let you know, like, disregard my tears right now because I'm still angry, but they're just flowing. Like, I'm not going to restrict them. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to, like, breakups, like, I don't like having a terrible breakup. Terrible breakups are terrible. But, the phases, the ice cream and the crying and the movies and the eating.
Right. And a snuggie, just watching How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, crying and shit.
Yeah. I get it. And then, dreaming about that yellow dress and then like...
You see, I do that stuff with like music. Like if I'm like sulking, I would listen to like the saddest music. Like I'll listen to like Adele. Yeah. Or remember Christina Perri, like that Twilight era? Like I'll be like 1,000 years. Like literally, mind you, I'm driving my car, like trying to look out the window.
Oh my God.
Right, I'm about to fucking crash. Being stupid. I'm like, oh my God. Especially, don't let it rain. Don't let it rain.
Nah, hard rain while on a bus, on a window seat.
Literally just feeling like...
That is beyond depressing.
I will crash out.
Yep. But it's all worth it.
It's all part of the process.
Would you rather date someone too clingy or too distant?
I feel like the younger me would have said too distant. Now I'm like too clingy. I need you to... You love me and I know it.
Yep. There's this post going around. It's like, oh, I like my man the way I like my thong. And it's crazy because my brain immediately... Yeah. Like your brain immediately thinks that. And I'm just like, I wonder for who like that didn't click in their brain. Because I was just like, I caught that so quick. And I'm like, that's kind of sweet.
I kind of like that too. But then it's also like, I need to be able to miss you,
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because then if it's like you're around all the time, it's just kind of like, all right, we cousins or some shit. Like, why are you just always here,
No, it's definitely important to keep your individualism while in a relationship because it's like, okay, well, what are we talking about? What are we catching up on? There's nothing left to catch up on.
Like I saw you 5 minutes ago and yesterday.
I guess.
I think I blinked a little bit. I almost choked. That's new.
Practice my facial exercises. Like, notice a difference.
I saw a TikTok, but I also sent it to you. Kind of like...
I be sending my boyfriend TikToks like right next to him.
I was like, babe, watch this. Like, okay. I heard it. You're like, just watch it yourself.
I have my last one.
Okay, bet.
Okay. Would you rather get caught sexting someone else Like you're in a relationship and would you rather get caught sexting someone else or would you rather catch your significant other sexting someone else?
Damn.
If you had to pick between the two.
If I had to pick between the two, I think I would rather catch somebody because I'm petty. So like that'll like traumatize me enough where I can remember exactly what you said. So I'll be randomly walking past you and be like, yeah, I bet you look nice doing that, huh? And it could be like a month after. And I'm just quoting this shit. I'm like, bitch. Like,
You would stay with someone after that?
yeah, I mean, y'all met. How you know this person? How many mutual followers y'all got? Like, I'm asking questions to like inquire, and then I'll make an informed decision because it's like getting mad at somebody for trying on a pair of sneakers that they would never buy, you know? It's giving, I just wanted to see what it's like, you know, to see like how my foot looks there, but like, I'm not gonna do it, you know?
See, I couldn't. Like, why are you, how did the conversation even get there? Like, who is this? Who the fuck is this?
And that's why you ask questions.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
I'm gonna leave
you
regardless.
Seek to understand. But then, I don't know, I feel like
for me, there's
not
no
an indicator
room.
of like anything other than the fact that like you got caught up, you were bored. And it's like, okay. But then it also creates introspection. Like, did I fuck up somewhere? Like, am I doing something?
Yeah, like,
or,
can I not trust you? That's what happens when you're bored? You never heard of puzzles? Like, what are you doing?
I mean, yeah, I see both sides.
When I'm bored, I play Candy Crush.
It also depends on how soon, like, how deep into the relationship y'all are. Like, if y'all just started talking, then it's kind of like, all right, they kind of have to shake off the stragglers. Like, let them ease out of it. Because then what if they're, like, also a little unsure? Like, this is too soon. I don't want to just, like...
Yeah, that...
abandon ship and then have this not work out. Because then to have to recollect hoes is twice as hard.
A conversation, though, versus sexting are two different things.
But sexting can happen in conversation.
No.
They're like, oh, I just got done working out. And they're like, yeah, I bet you're all hot and sweaty, huh?
Yeah, but that's when you leave them on red. Like, the conversation shouldn't continue.
That's true.
Here I am fighting my boyfriend in my head.
Right, fighting him. He got mad at some shit he didn't do.
Fucking cheated in my dream.
Right. You cheated on me. Get the fuck. You're like, I'm next to you, babe. Nah, you cheated.
Not up here, you weren't. Not up here.
In my heart, you cheated on me.
I felt it.
Getting drunk on the first date.
Nope.
No?
That is not, nope.
So there's no date number 2 if they get hammered.
No. If they get hammered, I thought you were asking if I would get
both.
drunk. I would definitely not get drunk. And if he gets hammered, I know you are never going to protect me in any kind of situation because why the fuck are you putting yourself in like a blackout state on a day that is supposed to be about us? What the fuck are you doing?
True. You're like, this is like the prelims and you're over here like thinking you already won the prize.
Yeah, why am I carrying your ass home? Like, whoa.
Why am I asking you if you made it home okay?
This is crazy. Why am I buying your Uber? No, thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna be ass on the street, actually.
You know, I don't even know you. You're probably so drunk you forget that we even went out. I'd be like, I thought we were going out today.
Wow.
He's like, but why do I have a picture? I don't know.
Some other bitch.
Not me.
Sure.
And then it's giving user not found. After like 5 minutes. No. Okay. And then, so if saying I love you, right? I'm going to ask 4 questions and you say like no or yes. 3 months.
Yep.
Oh shit. 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, if you said 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months, like a year, that all counts. So you're cool with somebody saying I love you after like 3 months? Do you believe in love at first sight?
Not at first sight, but one thing I do believe is that on the first meet, you should. I feel like most people, whether they like to admit it or not, know if someone is capable. Know if whether or not they're capable of loving that person, or they can see themselves loving that person in the future.
Yeah,
I feel like that's something. That is true, but people don't like to admit because no one likes to say the L word too fast. But I'm like, when it comes to my friends, I know I love them. I know I can love them so easily. And I'm just like, I just care that they're good people. I care that they're genuine. I care that they're honest. And I feel like those are a lot of things that like, though you don't have, a whole ton of history to refer to decide whether this person are any of these things, you can get a pretty decent gauge of somebody's character. And if they're already giving you red flags that you're like, I don't know. I feel like you should always follow your gut because all those little things in the beginning that you're like, oh, I could tolerate that. I could deal with that. Even if it's like little annoying things, those things are going to piss you off later on because it's like those are the things that they always do. Those are the things that they did. Not trying to bug you. That was just who they are. And it's just like, if that's already pissing you off, No thanks.
Where it's like, why does he open mouth sneeze? Why doesn't he just die?
No,
I get that. For real. I almost called the cops on you. Why? Because you left the chips open and now they're all stale. You piece of shit. I hate you.
So, yeah, but I feel like you should know.
Okay, I agree with that. Like, you can probably tell, like, okay, I can do this again with this person, or like I see this going somewhere from the beginning. Now, I don't believe in love at first sight, but I do believe in like what you just said. Like, yeah, this will go somewhere.
Yeah.
And I also am like, I don't know. For me, is considered a no, because uncertainty is just like uncertainty comes from the soul. You know what I mean? Like your brain doesn't do that. Your brain calculates everything and makes it situational or like atones for shit. Your vibe or like your spirit just kind of knows, all right, this is not doing anything.
It's like when you can't decide between two things and you ask your friend for advice and then they give you the answer you didn't want, but you didn't know you didn't want it until someone else said it. Yeah.
Period. That's a fact.
That's what uncertainty is.
You just know. You look at them, you're like, shit, I like this guy. This is going to go somewhere.
You're like,
okay. And you get cute videos and stuff. Or y'all get like matching gym shorts. Like this is all fun. It's all fun. Okay. Yeah. And then, so that was a good one. 3, 6, 9, 12. I feel like 3 might be a little early. Personally, it's because like, hey, you don't know me too well. It's like a 90-day period. Like that's like a jail sentence.
Wait. 3 months of knowing each other or 3 months into the relationship?
Like dating.
Okay. I still think it's fine.
I get it. Like, I don't agree, but I also am not negating that because like it really depends on the person. Borrowing money. Like if he calls you like, babe, I need $100. Like you got him or not?
One, definitely depends how, like, what he needs it for. Cause like.
So you're asking that. You're like, what is it for?
Because, I mean, I personally don't fuck with drug dealers or people who do drugs. But if you're asking for the money for drugs, like I'm immediately like, no, like you don't fucking need that. What are you saying? But if like you're trying to like spot your mom for something and you're like, oh, I told her I got it. And like, you know, friends, whatever troubles, like take it, whatever, like parents is a completely different thing. But also matters how far into the relationship we are, because like if we're in month 1 and you ask me for money, I'm like, so this is just what you do with girls? Because why do you feel so comfortable asking me for money? Right. That's kind of crazy. So, I don't know. It also just depends how reliable he is, even with his own friends. Like that's a judgment I would make based on like the way he talks about his friends and the way his friends talk about him. Like if he's known as like the slacker friend, one, I probably wouldn't be with him anyways, but if that's how his friends perceive him, I'm like, I'm not going to think I'm too far from your friends in terms of like how you deal with those kinds of things. Yeah. So
if I heard you call him a bum one time, or if they say that about you,
yeah, no, for real. Like $100, I would say you can ask me for $100 probably starting at like 8 months. Like, cause I'm very different when it comes to my money. I could say I love you, but I'm not giving you money. That's very different. Like, so yeah, if you want to go up into the thousands, we got to be fucking like married. Cause why? Like I cap it at $999 because why are you asking me for $1,000? Why are you that irresponsible with your finances right now? We're still young. Why do you need that much money?
What's that for? Huh? No, good luck. Good luck, sister. Appreciate you.
Like, make more responsible choices.
Yeah, no, I'm not. They say money is the root of all evil and all happiness. Don't ask me to borrow money. I don't got it. Automatically, no.
Yep.
I don't ask. Oh, okay. Do you have like the finance talk with your partner before you commit to them? Like how much you make? Or like, are you in debt? Like all those conversations that matter when you're getting to know somebody, like and start dating them? Or is that something you feel like you ask down the line?
I think that's a question before you move in together. Because that's when like finances become like a thing, because you guys are really splitting things and you have to have like those mature conversations about like, well, can we split it down 50-50? But if this person makes more, do you want to do 60-40? Or if someone doesn't want to split at all and you guys like take like, you know, I'll take this entire bill, you take those entire bills, whatever. Yeah, because it's a tough conversation to have, but it's not worth having in the beginning because my money's none of your business and your money's none of mine.
If your friends don't like them,
nah. I mean, my friends have varying levels of judgment. So, no. Like, if my friends don't like them and they, like, have super valid reasons, like, let's say, like, they're catching things that happen in front of them and they're like, yo, that's, like, giving red flag. Okay, fine. But if you're just going off of what I'm telling you, either I'm not describing things correctly, or maybe you don't feel what I'm feeling, or you don't understand. Because at the same time, like I have a bunch of friends whose boyfriends I wasn't the biggest fan of. But at the same time, like, it's none of my business to be all up in somebody else's relationship. And it's like, listen, you like it, I love it. Unless he beats you or, hurts you or whatever, I'm not going to step in. Like, that's your business. And that's not for me to get in the middle of. Like, for what? You're not going to listen to me anyways.
Valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, if my friends don't like them, it definitely makes me reassess. But then it's like you said, if it's not a valid reason, or if I'm like, shit, I like them. I'm not fucking my friends.
Yeah.
You can't satisfy me in that way. And there's certain ways that they can't satisfy me that you guys do, which is why you're my friend and that's my partner.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want his friends getting in the way of what he thinks of me.
I was going to say, too, your word, like, how do you feel about your partner having, like, side friendships with your friends? Are you okay with that? Or is it kind of like tread lightly because these are my friends?
Not to be a bitch, but, like, they could have side friendships with my male friends. But with my female friends, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, like...
Because for us, it's like they're all,
Yeah, for me, it's like, my boyfriend could be cool with my guy friends. Y'all could play sports. Y'all could talk whatever, locker room talk. I don't care. When it comes to my female friends, like, don't be stupid. Y'all not sending each other fucking memes. The funny thing is my girlfriends know how I am. And they'll, like... One time, one of my friends, she asked me, she was like, hey... Can I hit up your boyfriend about advice about something social media related? And the first thing, like, first off, I trust this friend. And the thing she wanted to ask him about, it was so, like, work related and innocent. I'm like, why'd you even run this by me? But they know I'm fucking crazy. And I just love their mutual respect. And I'm just like, the world could be so much simpler and just easier to live in.
Communication is key.
Yeah, because clearly my boundaries were very well communicated because all my friends know, like, whatever is Erica's, like, don't even do anything that can be
remotely perceived.
Yeah, as stupid. And I love you guys.
Because Erica, she strength trains and she fights. You see the arm?
Hello.
Beat a bitch to the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, that's valid. Yeah. I think I never really thought about it now, but like being gay, like they're all guys. So you never really know. And you really don't know who's capable of what until after you found out. But it's happened to me where like with my relationship where my partner was around for like years. So it's like, yeah, they know my friends or like, it was cool where like my friend became friends with some of his friends and then they had their own thing going on. And then like, I'm not gonna lie, I call it like FOMO here and there. I was like, bitch, you went there with them and you didn't ask me to go.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, that's fine. But then once like that was over, I was like, y'all could still be friends, but I'm not gonna talk to them anymore because those were that person's friends.
I call it like the divorce, like who gets the kids.
Right, the divorce settlement, exactly. Yeah. Sometimes there's like a non-fault, everybody comes back with what they came in with. Other times it's like, but I think they like me more, so I might have to check them. We don't. That's always sad. Damn. Being gay sucks.
No, but being gay is also cool.
No, I'm just kidding. Being gay is the best thing ever. But there's like certain intricacies like that where you're like, damn, you never think about what rules and regulations you have to establish because of the genders in general. Like you said, like with the male friends, you don't care what he does. But then imagine that's how you find out he's gay.
I mean, better now than later. Like, be gay now, sayonara. Honestly, I'd probably still be friends with both of them.
Where imagine they invite you to the wedding and they're like, oh, this was his ex-girlfriend.
All right. They didn't got to do that. They just...
You wouldn't want to be introduced as that? You'd be like,
nah,
oh, let's just...
we're just all friends.
But then what if they ask you to like have a kid for them? Will you do it?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. Because how am I holding your baby? And it's not because we had sex as heterosexuals in a relationship. Like, that would fuck with my head. Oh, okay. I'm like, how am I having your baby for you to have it with another guy? That's crazy. Like, I pictured this differently years ago, like, that would be a little traumatizing.
True. Would you have a marriage pact or like a pact with a gay man?
A lavender marriage? That's what they're called.
You're teaching me shit and I'm the
lavender marriage is when a guy and a girl are married and then the guy's still gay and the girl's straight, but I forget what the reason is. It's either like she's his beard or it's like legal stuff where like the guy has to get married for something. Yeah.
Like papers. No, yeah. I mean, not even that. It's just kind of like, yo, if the dating pool is trash and we don't find anybody to like lock in with, We're going to marry each other. We can either move in or live separate. You do you, I do me, and then we do us. I have like 4. Maria, I love you, baby. We got a couple years to see if out here doesn't work out. But yeah, like I have pacts with people where it's like, okay, if I reach this age and you're not with anybody,
You have pacts
then
with
we'll lock
several
in.
people?
I have 4.
But aren't you going to marry the one that hits the youngest age?
No, because they're all different ages. It's more like when I reach my age.
Exactly.
But I guess we just kind of revisit like who, it's like a list.
No,
like
but
there's
I'm saying,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
so.
but if you have one that's like, oh, if I'm single by the time I'm 25, I'm single by the time I'm 30, I'm single by the time I'm 35, no matter what, you're going to end up with the one at 25. Because if you're single by then.
No, because remember, the other person, if they're not in a relationship, that's when you proceed. Because it's a pact for just in case. So like if I'm like,
got
oh
a whole
shit,
fucking lineup.
It's my 33rd birthday. And she's like, I have a boyfriend. Then it's giving, all right, you're exiled.
Okay, got it.
And then you kind of proceed down the ladder until there's nothing left.
Gotcha.
But hopefully before you get there, you find someone.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I want kids, I think. Because we had to think about that. That's another thing. Like y'all can have kids by accident. It's giving. We had too many drinks, and then I guess I just hit that one move and said, no, I'm not. And then and now I'm sending somebody like expected October 2020 something. For us, it's like we actively have to go through those channels of like finding a surrogate, going to like get all the approvals from like, cause say it's funded by like your job or something. You had to go to therapy. They had to make sure that none of y'all are crazy. The health screenings, like this is like such a big process.
It's already a huge like process when, you're a heterosexual couple, but like they're always a little bit more like, when it's a gay couple. Cause it's like, just whatever, what's the word? Like prejudices that even like the agency themselves might have, or like people who are like, I'm not going to hold a kid for a gay couple. Yeah.
Would you carry?
No, I barely want to carry one for myself. No, but I carry it for someone else. No, because I barely want to carry one for myself. But I had thought about like, when I have a kid to have a surrogate because like I work out so much and I'm like my
and you
body.
You don't want to lose you're like everything I've made for myself.
But at the same time, I don't trust another bitch to hold my baby and have the like. Not to say my diet's gonna be perfect, but at least I know what's going in my body from beginning to end of the pregnancy. Like I don't know what she's eating. I don't know if she's drinking. I don't know what she's doing with my baby in her stomach. What are you doing? So yeah, and then there's also a thing like I feel like I wouldn't be as close to my baby unless I carried it. Which is like one of those things that's like, I don't know, people could always debate whether or not it's true, but I want that connection of like, I held you for 9 months.
But then would you resent it if it made you fat?
No, because I feel like I'll be working out while pregnant. Cause like,
a fit mom?
Yeah, after seeing that like people can do it and you can retain the muscle. And obviously postpartum, you're going to be saggy and wrinkly. Like I could deal with that. It's fine because that's just being a woman. But yeah, I thought about it a bunch. It's just like, you know what? It'll be fine. Little fucker gonna be running around. I'll be like, it was worth it. It's cool.
You donate an egg?
I told my mom about this, and she was just like, because I saw you can make a bunch of money off of it, and like about selling your eggs
for monetary. Okay, I mean,
yeah.
But I'm saying, like, say
to donate my egg to like a gay couple.
Yeah, so say you have like a couple of friends, like they're a gay couple, and they're like, shit, Erica, like we know you, we like you.
I mean, yeah, for as long as like I'm like the aunt to the baby.
I was gonna say, would you need involvement as a contingency?
Yeah, I would just like it would just people that I know I would keep a relationship with. Like for as long as I know like those couple, like the couple is like the 2 people in the couple are friends that I plan on having for the rest of my life. I'm like, you know what? This is my gift to you. Don't ask me for anything else. Here's an egg. But, I would just have to love them and love them together in a relationship. Like, let's say they're in a toxic relationship. I'm not going to give you my egg for you to raise them in like, these terrible conditions kind of thing.
Would you ever tell the baby that you're its mom?
If the baby wants to know and the parents are okay with it knowing, I think so. Like, I'm still going to retain the role as an aunt. Like, I would never be like, I'm your mom now and like take care of it. No, like those are your parents. Okay. I ain't agree to have you. I'm here for moral support, like.
Word. Okay, that's valid. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people, like you always hear about those fears that people have, or they're like, even with like hetero people getting like surrogates, they're like, what if this lady tries to run off my baby because she has that attachment? Or like, what if she's drinking and smoking while now my baby has like 3 eyes and shit? Like,
yeah.
It's too much.
Coming out like Ice Spice.
Ice Spice had
They
3.
they say she got fetal alcohol syndrome because her eyes are so wide set.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy. You know, and because in my head, I'm like looking at her now and I'm like, oh shit. Because even in her little, like, her pendant, them shits are like,
just, yeah.
like an ant. I think ants.
Ice ant.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's about time we close this.
Yeah, I feel like we got in like a little rabbit hole, but.
Yeah, but no, it was a good rabbit hole. It was a good one. Okay. We're just going to end it on a nice, wholesome note. What are some words that you have for young queer people figuring themselves out?
Be true and be you.
Don't get much more simpler than that.
It don't. I feel like once we overcomplicate it, that's when it becomes a thing of like, we don't have to prove anything to anyone. As long as you pay your bills, mind your business, and be a good person, who gives a fuck?
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Give me 5 stars wherever you're listening and watching. Please comment. Please engage. I need all that good stuff. And I will see you next week. Bye.